Why do you think that Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, all of these people, these mayors are trying to turn down the help from the federal government to actually stop the crime in the communities?
Because black people's struggle and pain have always been a monetized game for other people. If you stop the problem in the black community, then what happens to all those 501c3s that get all this money? From Goodwill to DAV, the Boys and Girl Club, the black churches, all these motherfucking 501c3s that get all this money to help funnel, shake, control. What happened, nigga? This is how you control, nigga. You need these problems to control. And what do? You monetize the control. It's called control chaos.
You know what? One of the things that he does speak on a lot, and he just got off of MSNBC, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, is he keep talking about these forming more community groups, asking for $800 million more dollars.
Everybody who wants to help the black community is somewhere asking for somebody to get him some money. Man, say, listen. I learned this, homie. I started with all these people. They would bring me to Washington, D.C. I started out with the campaign fair sentencing for youth. This was like being drafted to the NFL for me. Nigga, I'm in Texas. I'm one of the biggest speakers in Texas. I'm in state Congress legislation. I'm partnering with one of the biggest lobbyists organization in the state of Texas, which was the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition at the time. Nigga, they bringing me to D.C. I'm helping impact laws and legislation. I'm fighting to raise the age of juvenile jurisdiction from 17 to 18. So, nigga, I finally catch Washington, D.C. Nigga, they call me. Nigga, they draft me, bring me into the organization. But I'm too vocal, and I don't want to polish. And they know I can polish. If they can polish me, nigga, I'm a poster child for the nation. Nigga, I did a national webinar with the White House, with the Office of Juvenile Justice Department. It was me, Glenn Mitchell, Xavier Macbeth. I can't think of the other guy's name. So we did a national webinar, homie, with almost every judge, DA. I've had a big impact on the criminal justice system in America. But niggas don't know that. So let me just say this. So I learned a lot. So I would go to DC. I had my own 501c3. I had youth programs. I had curriculum that I had created. Nigga, I had an organization of over, at the time, it was 43 men who had all committed murder when they was children, had served 18, 19, 20, up to 28 years from crimes they committed when they was children. So we was going to DC to get juvenile life without parole abolished. So we got like 2,000 guys in America. 800 was in Angola. One of those guys who eventually ended up being released from us working on this law, me and him are friends today, a guy by the name of Edward Brown. They call him E Solid. So homie, I'm on Facebook trying to spread this law, nigga. But I'm dressed up. I'm not cussing. I ain't smoking weed. So I'm learning a lot as well. So what I realize is nonprofits were created during the civil rights movement. And how I learned this is the Annie Casey Foundation is the 501c4 in Washington, D.C. that really controls all this billion-dollar grant funding going out through America. So most people, man, if you got a backing by the Annie Casey Foundation, you get money forever. So I actually met the executive director of the Annie Casey Foundation like around 2012, a guy by the name of Bart LeBeau. So I stayed at Bart's house for like 2 days, just traveling the country, doing speaking engagements, and doing all kind of trainings. Homie, they was grooming me to be a bad motherfucker. So Bart had gave me this book that's called The Revolution Will Not Be Funded, and it's written by the Women's Jewish Council. So the Jews wrote this book, and it breaks down the 501c3, which is the nonprofit industrial complex. In the prison and industrial complex, how is the nonprofit industrial complex? So nigga, nonprofit does nobody any good except the people that's running it. It's a scam it's a scam act like it's solving a problem.
So the real play is to continue to get funding, and that's one of the reasons why they don't really want crime to stop, because they can then use that to make sure
Not only that, Man, you hitting it on the head. So let me just break it down for you. So this book breaks it down why they was created, the when, the how, and nonprofits was created to hinder and control social movements. Hinder and control social movements. That's why your Democratic Party is always saying, hey, we need more funding for this to hinder and control this movement over here. Say, hey, we want to make these people independent and strong. To hinder and control social movements.
Yeah.
To funnel money for the rich. That's why the first thing they say to do, get your LLC to nonprofit. You'll send this money over here. Who you'll put on the board? Your friends and your buddies who you know in the community got a little power. They're going to be able to get you the funding. So you're going to have a working board members. That's why they say don't put your family members. You're going to get prominent people who know other prominent people. That's your working board. Hey, I'm a board of directors that sits on hype about hype. He's great kids. So they're going to get the money. So they all go funnel money down here, which actually comes back over here. So this book highlights the fact that 95% of nonprofits spend almost 95 to 99% of their fundings, donations and grants, on keeping the lights on, furniture, the cars, the trips. They go hire their mama to be the CEO. They go hire their other girlfriend to put people in family in these positions and pay them a salary and find a way to re-itemize the money.
Yeah.
And only 5% actually goes to the work that they do. That's why your CEOs of Goodwill have these large salaries. That's why these people sit on these boards of American Airlines forever. That's why the church got in bed with the state, because church and state are separate.
Yeah.
When our state gave our church a 501c3, a tax exempt status, now they in the bed together. A church don't need a tax exempt status. So that's why you see a lot of black people who get nonprofits end up in prison, because they don't know this. They don't know, nigga, you have to account and itemize if you have to be accounted for, but they go get a Cadillac. They start going out to eat. They don't know to write this up as this. I learned hanging with the white people, if you write it up as this, you can beat the radar. So this wasn't created to really help you. That's why the people who got it, that's really getting the money, they're not visible, really helping. And the people that's really helping don't get the money because they'll solve the problems. So if you want to solve the problems, the Jews taught me, and I love this Jewish woman. She said, please don't ever mention my name, Charleston. I gave you this for you to go teach your people. And I've been keeping her name secret. But nigga, you have to learn how to be self-sustainable, Charleston. Nobody's going to help you fix your problems. Your people have to be self-sustainable. You have to sell T-shirts, hats, barbecue, but don't beg. And all nonprofits leave you to do it. You have to, if your own constituents don't help you, which are your people, what makes you think this corporation going to keep helping you? It becomes welfare.
Yeah.
Your own people won't help you. Why you think we're going to give to y'all? So if you ain't showing us how to create our tax, help us funnel this money, fuck you. And they ain't finna give you no money. Mm-hmm. And that's why the real people getting help. I ain't getting no money. You have to figure out how to self-sustain.
So it's really a money play. I still don't know exactly where all of the migrant
Every
money
time
went.
there's a tragedy and there's a disaster, so many people make money, whether it's the roofers from scamming, from the hurricane.
Yeah.
It's so every disaster and tragedy, there's money to be made. Yep. You know why? Because this is not a country that fixes its social problem. We're not a socialist country. This is a capitalist country. Everything is about money. If he die, did you get the video so we can make some money off of it?
Yeah.
Niggas ain't about fixing. Niggas about money. And once Americans realize that, nigga, you're a consumer. You ain't a citizen. Get with capitalism and you fix all your problems. Your money will fix your issues.
Yeah.
Because homie, that's why you hear other politicians saying, hey, they're just wasting money on pork projects. Homie, they got funding to see how grasshopper shit.
They do.
They got funding. They got funding.
Some of that junk was crazy.
They got $200 million, $5 million go to see if grasshoppers fuck during the daytime. Homie, it's called pork. They call wasteful spending. Yeah. But because we're not educated and we don't control our government, we think our government control us, but we the people, homie, if most of us went to Washington, D.C. and butt our nose in their business every election, they'll act right. But nigga, we waiting till they show up on TV and say, vote for me. Yeah. If nigga, we show up like he's saying they going to go, homie, you got to go meddle them people. And that's how we got their attention with the juvenile life. We was going up there every year, meddling them, going into offices, and bringing a nigga with gold teeth, talking articulate, getting their attention. Talking about he killed the white man, but he's working with children now. Homie, my story used to captivate those politicians. Because it's a real story of redemption. Nigga, I ain't hurt nobody since I've been grown. Nigga, I ain't been no criminal. I just been trying to figure life out without hurting nobody in the process.
Yeah.